Welcome, and let's get started to Personal Book Builder for Logos Bible Software 2025. So let's go ahead and open up Logos here. And at the right, you can see my personal book. And we've got quite a bit of information to cover today. You can see there's 15 points and some additional items as well. So let's begin first with just a basic question. Why this topic? The Personal Book Builder tool allows you to create, organize, and search your own content within Logos Bible software. That's the key. And this means that you can take some really great materials that maybe don't exist in a book in Logos, and now you can bring it into the platform. Really cool. Now, challenges in studying this topic. There are two levels for using the Personal Book Builder, basic and advanced. The basic features is a straight conversion of text, no additional editing required. You just upload your document, as I'll show you shortly. You convert that book, and that's all you do. It will make all your Bible verses, for the most part, searchable if they are properly formatted, like book, chapter, verse. The advanced mode requires a lot of work to enhance functionality of the book. This is where it gets difficult. Logos has given us, and I'll cover a lot of these, a lot of features, but they have to be manually inserted, or you need a program to add them themselves. Now, I've included some additional helps, books, and resources, and I would like to take a minute with each of these links because I think they're very valuable. So the help file is pretty straightforward. In the help, you can see here we have personal books, what it is, how to build a personal book, very basic instructions. And also they do give you some syntax, right? Some hyperlinks, what those look like, some milestones, what those look like, headwords, some fields, some red letter, the escape context, a text input box, and a few other items in here. All right, and we'll go into more detail. But that's the extent of the help files. There's a lot more online, and I'll give you each of those links right now as we go into this. So I'll just paste them right into the chat box. So this is the first one. It's the Logos wiki page. And these do take a minute to load up. Logos has changed their platform, and so it's a much slower. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up all these and give them to you right away. So you kind of have those. The second one we are going to look at in a minute here is the Logos wiki page warning and errors. Let me add the search fields so you have that as well. All right, and we'll make sure those open up. And then Logos has, this is really cool, a page of user-created personal books. This is just a boatload of free stuff. We'll go there in a minute. There are some books you can go online and download. This is from the archive internet, and some of these are available to download. So this would be obviously mostly non-Bible books, but there are some Bible books in there. And you could search those and then, depending on the format, download those. You might have some conversions involved. Let's return back to my personal book. And also, the Gutenberg has some older books that might be of interest to you. Google has, as well, an advanced kind of search page. And I did find out that if you try to do 100 results, you won't get feedback. You won't get any search results. But what you have to do is you have to choose full view only. So let me go there, and you'll see right here under search, these options. And what we want to choose is this one, full view only. And then you can just type in something. So I'll type in Bible. All right, we can run a search, and now we get a list of resources. Now, some of these are straight PDF with image files. Image files are very difficult to convert. OCR, optical code recognition, converting those images into text. I don't recommend doing those. But if they do sell it as a textbook, meaning TEXT, then you would download that, and that can be very useful. Now, some of these books that come through, and I'm just scrolling down to one of them, see something like this, that might be able to be converted decently. These do a pretty good job, but it all depends really on the quality of the image and the text, the tool you're using to convert. So just be aware of that. Let me walk you through. So here's the Internet Archive. And again, we could search on Bible and to see if we get any search results. And we get a few. And now again, you can search on other things. These will come again in different formats. So here's the book of Revelation, a last study of the last prophetic book. And you can see the information there. This is Clarence Larkin's book, so it has some pretty cool images in there. In fact, let me just go and jump ahead. And you can see the table of contents in there. There's some of those wonderful charts that Logos has. And notice, though, that you can download in these various formats. So there's the full text, and that you could use for converting into a Logos personal book. So be aware of that. All right, the user contributed books, you can see that they're right here. There's quite a bit and a variety from Augustine to Rudolph Bultmann, Jesus in the World, etc., and a variety of these things, including Charles Dickens. So if we click on the actual resource, you can see that there's these different versions. They're all in the docx format, and you can download those files and convert them into a personal book. So take advantage of that repository of user-created books. Now, as far as the helps that are available, like I said, there's 3 wiki pages. And the first one here is that I have is the personal books. And this is kind of the table of contents. So as you can see, there's a lot of information walking you through the milestones, the data type links, the resource links, the fields, etc., with some examples. And we'll go into more detail this in just a few minutes. There's also the search field list. This is a way of tagging the data so that you're not just looking at a word. We know what kind of word it is. It might be, and you can see there's a whole bunch here. So it might be an author. It might be BHS. It might be Bible text. You can see all these different search fields. And what separates a search field from text is that you can then search on just this. So if we wanted to search, let's say, on a cross-reference, we can tag that verse as a cross-reference, and now we'll ignore all the other text around it and just search the cross-reference. This is very powerful, but you can imagine very time-consuming to tag your books this way. And then the last one is kind of personal book warnings and errors, and this will just walk you through on some of the errors. Very common to see errors. For example, 47 errors, 52 warnings. As long as that book opens, you can ignore all those errors. A lot of them are just silly errors dealing with fonts and things and formatting, and they don't affect the function of the book whatsoever. So those links have been included in the personal book for you to make life a whole lot easier. So let's return to Logos Bible Software. And that covers that. Now, converting, like I said, from a PDF to a docx will introduce inferior text, and that will affect your search results when you're searching them. All right, so let's get started, and let's open up the Personal Book Builder. So I'm going to go to the main menu and click Tools, and we'll just type in Book. That's all we need. And you'll see the Personal Book icon. You'll also see it under Utilities. We'll go ahead and click and open that. Now, as you can see, I have a whole bunch here. And in fact, let's do the personal book for let's do a previous edition, the 2016. Shows you how long I've done this. Actually, I did one in 2020. All right, so here's the basic look of it. When you get into a new one, this will be empty. So we have a picture here. That's the book cover, and pretty straightforward. And then Logos gives you all these options to put in the title, the name, the copyright date. There are now 25 types of books that you can create. We might be creating an ancient manuscript, or we might be creating a Bible. So you can mark these books so that they show up in your library under these types of books. So be aware of that. We can choose a language, and yes, you have access to all these different languages, so you could make a Spanish book if you wanted to. The abbreviated title is what the name of the book is when the little tabs get smaller and smaller. The alternate title with series title, a subject heading, a publisher, publication date. Those are all the fields that Logos gives you. They're all searchable. And then we have a description box where you can describe in short what the book is. And then we add the files, and I recommend keeping your books under 200 pages of content. Once you get larger, especially if you're doing a lot of tagging, it can really slow the book down. And then you build the book, pretty straightforward. Once you've added that file, the build book option becomes enabled, and then you can build that book. So pretty straightforward in the information that you need to include. And like I said, the minimum information you need to build a book is the title, the author, and the book file. Very straightforward. The book files must always be in the docx format. You can do this through Microsoft Word, or LibreOffice will actually support the personal book format. That's a free utility that you can download. It's kind of like a clone of Microsoft Office. No other format is accepted. So very key that you build in a docx format. Now, some of the book details I mentioned here are listed here. I won't cover those again, but it is wise to include all those. And it makes a big difference later for searching and so forth. So be aware of that when you're using the library icon. And then building the book, like I said, is pretty straightforward. So let me go ahead and just pick a book, and I'll pick one right here. And I probably don't have that one, so let me do a different one, something a little more recent. In fact, let's do the personal book. All right, so here we are. We're in the personal book, and there it is, 2025. You can see I put the basic information in there, and I click Build Book. Now that I've built it once, though, the upload feature is available. Now, here's your strategy. You want to have one single computer that is kind of the designated book building computer. And I recommend saving all those books to a OneDrive so everything is backed up. And you will always build those books from that OneDrive. You can see mine is on the H drive. And this way, if you need to revise the book, you always know where it is, and you have a single source, a single entry. Very key. Now, for the other installations of Logos, you don't have to rebuild the book on that computer. You just need to click Upload, and that will place this personal book on the other computers. Now, there's one caveat. Unfortunately, the mobile version, both the iPad, as well as the Droid, as well as the iPhone, personal books will not appear in those mobile devices. So the personal book builder is only for desktop application, Mac and PC only. So be aware of that. And then there you go. Pretty straightforward. And then we just click Build Book. And you can see in a minute that it's going to start to build the book. Now, this can happen. And this is why I'm doing this exercise. So when you see this build failed, that means the book did not build. Now, I did have the book. It turns out that sometimes when you rebuild a book, let's say you find it, you build it, and you find some errors, and you go to rebuild it again in the same session, this is what's going to happen. It's going to give you an error. So what you do is you click Finish, you close this down, and you actually close down Logos, and then you restart Logos. So let me go ahead and restart Logos. So when you see that build failed, the 2 and the zeros, that's to let you know you have to restart Logos. So now if we go to Tools, Personal Book Builder, and we go to our personal book, open it up, scroll down and build book, you'll see that it will build appropriately this time. And there you go. So this one has 3 errors, 1 warnings, but it says build succeeded. So as long as you get that little green circle, you are good to go. So just be aware that that book failure, that particular one, is because Logos needs to be restarted. Don't know why, but there you go. And I have a picture of that to remind you. And here's some errors and warnings that you can ignore. No big deal. I did give you the link to the wiki page, so you can figure out some of these errors and almost get rid of all of them sometimes. I have been able to achieve that. Now, how do you find these books? Well, if we go to the library icon and type in, let's say, the author. Let me do that. I'm going to put author : Falahi. You'll see all my personal books are here. And they're here because I had uploaded them, and now they're all available. Pretty handy. And then we could put in title, and we could put in personal. And now we've got the 2 personal books. So if I click it, there it is. So and if I float my mouse over the other one, you can see the description there. Overview, this training manual is intended to be used in conjunction. So pretty cool that all this information is there. Notice it says it's a manual. And if we actually go and get information, all right, there is our information. You can see the citation, the copyright. These are the fields that are available, and so forth. So pretty cool. The information that comes with these, pretty awesome. But you can see the pop-up does include this information as well. Oh, one more thing on the collection rule. So it turns out these books are tagged as users. So here, you can see the subjects. I had put those in there as well. So Logos webinar bonus helps. There's no community tags yet. You can see there's the publisher information that we put in there. There's the series. I have a link to the product page, a shameless sell. Now the license says permanent. All right, so that's because I own it. And let's see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, here's the edition. So if we scroll a little bit further, it says user created. So it is different than the other books, as you can see. When I get rid of the filter, we have Logos Research versus user created. So just be aware of that. Next step is some really important questions. Many of you have Kindle books that you got really inexpensively and you want to convert those. Let me just tell you, it's not easy. The main tool that's out there is Calibri ebook. You've got the link there. And then there's a DRM removal tool. But what makes it challenging is trying to figure out which book because the way Amazon labels their books, it's not always obvious. So be aware of that. And some DRMs just can't be removed. So it's fair use if you own the book and you're using it for personal use. Obviously, it would be inappropriate if you were selling that book or you were taking a book you didn't own and converted it. So just remember to respect the copyright laws and you'll be okay. Now, iPubSoft, let me go there, will actually do this for you. Okay, and so they can you can pay a fee for this. The other one is free, and this will convert Kindle books as well. But again, you got to watch out for some of the copyright, the DRMs. Just be aware of that, digital rights management. And then Google search for more tools. These may not be a good fit for you, but others may. So just be aware of that. Now, if you're going to take a PDF file and export it, it really needs to be a text PDF, not an image PDF. Those are not the best to use. And basically, you need to have Adobe Acrobat or some of the free tools that are out there. So, for example, I believe Cute PDF is still out there. There we go. And I'm not sure if they charge anything for this. Yeah, you have the Writer, which is free. And this will allow you to create PDFs. And then they should have, I think they have some PDF to Word export. Let me just see if I have, that might be, let me see if there's a convert one on this one. Yeah, you can convert PDF to images, which we wouldn't want. Let's see if there's anything on Word or .docx. And you may have to look for some of those. Yeah, I'm not seeing any .docx on this one. But this would get you into a PDF. And but there are products. Let me just go ahead and look it up real quick. So PDF to DocX. There are services online. For example, something like this, you just upload your file and it will do it for you. Pretty cool. And then there's a whole bunch of converters. So just be aware that there's a lot of options for you. Each one has strengths and weaknesses. So just be aware of that. All right, it's time now to get into the differences of the tags. There's milestones, and we're going to walk you through some examples of these. I'm just going to open up a Bible and turn off my visual filters. There we go. And then also I'll bring in a commentary. All right, so milestones are hidden. All right, you'll see them in your Word document. We'll walk through those in a minute, but I just want to take kind of an introduction. And the milestones are hidden. So, for example, 2 Peter 2:1, even though you see it here, this milestone is actually right here. This is how we know where we are in the book. So one example of a milestone is a Bible verse milestone. Let me go to a Bible dictionary. This would be another good example. And here we go. Okay, so if we click on the page number, this one, unfortunately, is got milestones of page numbers only. All right, let's go to Tyndale Bible Dictionary, and actually just do Tyndale Dictionary. So now we go to Tyndale Dictionary, and you can see that if we click the drop-down menu, we have page numbers and this word allegory. Now, even though allegory is right here and it's a heading, it's also a milestone. It's invisible. Those milestones will always show up here. So be aware of that. Those are a big deal and make your life very helpful. And the nice thing about that of these is you can tag your books this way. So you could create a dictionary if you wanted to. Pretty cool. The next one is data type links. They're visible after the personal book creation. They link to a Bible verse. All right. So this is pretty straightforward right here. 2 Peter 2. You float your mouse, it's a hyperlink. My personal books, all these things are hyperlinks, right? They can take you there. And you can store a link to something outside of Logos, like a web page, but you also can store into Logos. So you can go to a report, you can go to another book, a specific place in the book, etc. Now, where can you create these links? You've probably seen them. You just didn't realize that's what one of the purposes. If you click on share, you'll see this copy link, and that copy link will give you the internal link to wherever you're going. So if we click copy link here, we're going to go to our New American Standard, 2 Peter 2:1. So anything you're linking to. So for example, if we wanted to go to, let's say, a passage list with a whole bunch of verses on eternal security, we click the three dots. Let's see here. Everyone's a little different on that. Yeah, there's the share button. Nope, that's not going to work. We may not be able to do it on this particular one. Yeah, copy location. There you go. And you click on that, that will save the location here. So you have to sometimes hunt and peck for it. But if we go to a particular guide like here, we can click the three dots, and there's the copy location. So when it's just one window, you're going to have to go to the three-dot menu. If it's in a book or a resource, then you scroll to the location, and then you click Share, Copy, Link, and that specific location is saved. So be aware of those little nuances. All right, let's go ahead and close that down. And then resource links, again, visible after personal book creation by change of color. This is linking to a specific place. And that's also using the copy link as well. And then there's fields. They're invisible after personal book creation, but this allows you to label your text so Logos recognizes it as specialized text. So it's not just text anymore. It could be Bible text. It could be a date text, Greek text, topic. It even can be a city. And again, we have the link to all the different search fields. And there are a lot. So these are the ones that you can use that are built in, that Logos would allow you to use. And you can look through these to decide if any of them are helpful. Notice the language fields as well. Let's scroll down now to the library types of books. As I said, there are now 25 book types. And let me just click on Tools, Personal Books to open those up. And we'll go ahead and just click Edit here. And so here they all are. We've got manuscripts, apparatuses, commentaries, harmonies. You can see that there's quite a variety of resources. You can create your own commentaries, dictionaries, etc. There's really some amazing options here, even thesauruses, study Bible, etc. So those are the types, and the way you find those, you click on your library icon, and you just type in the word type, and now you can see the types. In fact, if I click on the column type, I can see all those 25 categories right here. So that's how they function, and that's where they're going to show up. So very helpful. And then let's go to now book types with templates. I'm going to walk you through the handful of templates that will come with this personal book webinar. So there's a whole bunch. So let's walk through each one of these and walk you through what I've done for you. I've labeled this My Lectionary. Now, one thing you're going to know, over to the left, I've opened up my navigation window. So I clicked on View in Word, I expanded the menu, I looked for navigation pane, and I checked it. Because I want you to see the impact these have on this navigation pane, because this navigation pane is going to be your table of contents. So what I did is I labeled My Lectionary as a heading 1. And then I put in the date. So you can see, let me zoom in and make this a little bit bigger. That might make it a little bit easier for you. So I have bracket at the left at year, month, day, colon. All right, so this is the format for a lectionary day. And then I actually put in April space, the month, then the day, comma, the year, bracket. Knowledge solely, but knowledge in application. And certainly this personal book tool gives us an opportunity to gather and aggregate information, store it and save it and search it. And help us, Father, to build a library that is edifying, but also help us to apply these truths in our lives. In Christ's name we pray, amen. Well, thanks everyone for joining us for tonight's webinar. It's been a real treat. And we'll see you in 2 weeks for the next webinar on data sets. Have a blessed night. We'll see you next time in the webinar.